let's do it live on a Tuesday edition of the program. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Although looking out there, it doesn't quite feel. Well, maybe it does. It's just kind of the way that it goes here. Maybe it does. Merely Bo, the Great Z, and Luminaries right out of the gate.
Yes.
New defensive coordinator Mike Rutenberg in studio with us. Mike, good to see you, man.
Great to see you guys.
How's it been?
It's been awesome. It's been awesome. It's a great town here. I've gotten around a little bit. Really, really cool people. It's a football town. Great building, man. Getting to know some of the people in the building, the coaches, Coach Monk, and some of the players that I've been around. It's really been awesome. It's been fun every day.
What is it like when you get this nod, the ultimate nod, defensive coordinator? You get this, that you got familiar guys on the staff that you've known through various places. Your story's incredible, how you got to this point. And I'm sure you're chomping at the bit to get going, and you're jumping on a treadmill that's moving. How have you managed all this professionally and personally over the last month?
For sure. Well, I appreciate you saying that. My story is just like everybody else's story. You got a story, you got a story. All the coaches and the players have a story, and that's what's most important. The way I've managed it is just meet as many people as I can, including you guys. Start to build the relationships. I understand. Part of relationships is earning trust and building trust, and that's a two-way street. And whether it's Coach Munkin, Andrew, the organization, ownership, the people in the building, the players, it's all about the relationships. I said it earlier, learning each other's why, touching each other's heart, learning your story, sharing my story, and eventually we just build an awesome connection that becomes unbreakable, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. Just as you said,
I want to.
So we've got to talk a few times, Hall, but like he's just.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Say what you're gonna say.
I was just say Tarv.
Well,
I mean, like it's
so you're
like
taking
the energy, right?
So we are very close with Jason Tarv
Love
on the
Tarv.
show, and
Yeah.
a lot of the guys, obviously on that defensive staff, those guys have all been here for a little while. But Tarv's like our guy. We
For sure.
love Tarv.
Yeah.
And when going through the process, and when we found out, Rudy, you were going to be the new defensive coordinator, and we were like, all right, well, Tarv, what do you think? And he's like, you guys are going to love him. He's like, he's a lot like me. And I was like, yeah, and you're just a younger Tarv, which we absolutely love. Guys who love ball, great energy, but are real people as well.
For sure.
As you said, you care about those connections. We heard Quincy Williams. You talked about it in yours. We've heard Quincy talk about it when I got a chance to interview him, talk about the relationship you guys started down in Jacksonville and carried through New York. But that's what is, I think, what's cool about this league is, you go through, we were just kind of BSing before, we were talking about that year you were with the Niners, and you listed off a ton of people on staff that I know because they were here, a lot of them in 2014 or 2015, even after that, with those guys. But just it's that connective tissue in the league. And for you to come in, first time DC, you've got a lot of these guys here, and to already have formed the bonds you have from just the guys that we talked to, I think is really cool. And I love that that's what's so important to you, because without people, this is people. The game is played by people.
What else is there?
It's a people business. I just think it's very cool the way you've come in like that, and just the energy you bring. We like energy.
For sure.
Energy
Me
is
too.
good. Yeah, no doubt. You can tell.
Me too.
What was your approach you took? And I'm sure when you're coming up and you're going on this path to get to a point of a defensive coordinator and the position that you're in now, what was kind of in your head as you walked into the building, talking to guys who had been here, and you've had familiarity with some of them certainly, but just in terms of what did you want your staff to be all about, and what were some of those early messages you kind of passed along to the guys?
I'm going to sound repetitive. It's just because, and I don't like the word I, and we're going to try not to use that because it's us and we. But for me, the first thing was just starting those relationships, learning the people, learning their whys, learning what's important to them. Is it family? Is it hobbies? Is it football? And then finding out how I can share my stories and I can hear their stories, and we start to build that bond. So before any messaging, before any heart, mind, fist, as you're going to hear a lot, was just learning each other, learning what's been done here and why they've been so successful here, learning where can we make it ours, all right? And then the messaging of what's most important. You're going to hear me say this all the time. It's in my DNA. It's going to be style over scheme. We're going to attack. We're going to play fast. We're going to play hard. We're going to play smart. We're going to play violent. That's heart, mind, fist right there. Yep. And then the ball is going to be our oxygen. We are going after the ball. Our heart is going to be our connection to each other and the way we celebrate. Our mind is our deliberate approach and how smart we play. We're problem solvers here. And the fist, I don't know if this is the appropriate time to talk about the fist, but you guys know.
I think it speaks for itself.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
There's two right there on the wall.
No doubt. That's fist
Yeah.
right there. And that's that dark room. And that starts
really
with the
like
engine
that.
up front.
Yep.
And then the ball is oxygen. And without oxygen, we all know, you die. That's the truth.
Did you have a connection with Todd really from, I guess, in Jacksonville? Did you guys cross paths or not even there?
We did not.
So
have
how
a
did this,
connection.
how did that, you get a call, I
Sure.
imagine, that's like, hey,
Yeah.
you want to come coach a defense with Myles Garrett on it? And you're like,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
in fact, I do, as
Yes,
a matter
sir.
of fact. And you also have the other part that you were coming from Atlanta, which has a little tie to us right now, as our
Totally.
former head coach was
Yep.
down there. So kind of just walk us through how this all came to be, because just walk us through it.
Sure. Let me say this. I'm so appreciative to Todd, to Andrew Berry, to the Haslams, and to the organization for giving me this opportunity. I'm not going to dive super deep into all the things that go into it, but the interview process was incredible.
Yeah.
Through the interview process, getting to know Todd, getting to know Andrew, and then getting to know the ownership group and Mr. Haslam was an incredible process of learning, and it became very clear to me that this is a place I want to be. Not only because of Todd, AB, and Mr. Haslam in the organization, but in doing the research, the players that are here
Yeah.
at every level of defense, and then the coaching staff that was already here. It just became something that I was extremely interested in and feel very fortunate to have the opportunity and thankful to all those people.
Were you guys surprised? Like, because, this is often a business where it's like, I know you. And for example, you work with Saleh. Saleh goes to the Jets. Hey, I want to bring you with me. You get the opportunity to go to the Jets and do that.
Yeah.
And this is a case where you guys didn't have that background, but I'm sure there was connective tissue, people he knew that you knew, and vice versa in the conversations. But were you kind of surprised, and then obviously very happy, and we're thrilled you're sitting here?
Well, thank you. I'm thrilled too. I'm pleasantly surprised for sure. And like you mentioned, the connective tissue, that goes back to, for me, a lot of the people who are the reason I'm here, both players and coaches. You mentioned Robert Saleh. He's always supported me in my career, whether we're at Jacksonville, bringing me into the linebacker room and teaching me how to prepare players.
Yeah.
Going to the New York Jets and building that defense along with Jeff Ulbrich, who I credit personally for teaching me how to lead through relationships, who got me to Raheem Morris, who is the ultimate dealer in solutions. There are no problems. We deal in solutions. And all those guys, along with a lot of other people, Gus Bradley, teaching me the precision in league. And these are names, guys, that I'm not dropping. These are names that are so important to me because they help me become who I am today. The players who have taught me to coach the way I am.
Sure.
Going back to Paul Posluszny, taught me what a player needs.
Stud.
Yeah, stud.
Stud.
You had some
teach
good
me-
linebackers down there.
Stud. Don't teach me how to take on a guard, Rudy. Teach me when a guard's pulling. Gotcha, Puzz.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah.
Taught me about formation and anticipation and responding. And I could continue to go through those players. We got one here in Quincy Williams, who could not be more excited about. And Jesse Bates and Xavier Watts. And again, these are players and coaches who came before who helped me get this opportunity. And I'm beyond appreciative of all those people.
This all comes so fast, I have to assume. I mean, you mentioned no previous relationship with Todd. Obviously, you knew some guys around here. We knew Todd from 19.
Yep.
And it's so interesting, and I listened, obviously, to your press conferences, and we know Todd a little bit. If you were to say these guys didn't previously know each other, I would have said you're nuts, because just your approaches are so similar. The directness that he has, you're very direct. You ask a question, you get an answer. How quickly in your conversations with Todd were you like, oh, I can do that. This will be a fit?
So, full disclosure, we had met before, okay?
Okay.
And when you meet Coach Monk, you see the directness.
Oh, yeah.
And that's something that you appreciate so much. That's what you want. But you see the care as well.
Mm-hmm.
You see the commitment to listening and conversation and getting his full attention. That's a tribute to him. We started the process, and I immediately felt like this is a guy I want to be around. This is a guy who I want to coach football with. This is a guy who I want to talk to. This is a guy I want to do really hard things with and celebrate when we have success together. And if it doesn't go well at times, I know this is a guy who, when we're together, we're going to lock arms and fight our butts off to get it right. And I started to see that through the process. And then naturally, you do research, right, as different opportunities come. And all the research is like, this is a guy you want to be around. This is a guy who you want to do hard stuff with. It just kept coming back. And I'm like, well, let's just go do it.
Let's just
go.
do it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's great.
You come into a situation where the defense here has been very good, and it plays a particular style. And you have experience, you understand this style. You also have some other backgrounds and styles that you've understood on the back end, especially in the pass game. How do you come in and want to kind of put your imprint on it, but also say, as you said, worse about the results? The results a bit like these guys are pretty good in this, and a lot of them kind of fit that scheme. How do you balance that as you come in? Because this is your first time as a defensive coordinator. This is going to be the Rudy defense, and it's everybody's defense, but you're at the top of it.
I was about to clarify.
I got you.
You saw my body.
Not my first rodeo. Yeah,
He's ready.
But how do you go about thinking about how you want to attack that, knowing you're going to have, OTAs, you got training camp and that plan to get it to where it is the 2026 Cleveland Browns? Because evolution is a fact of life, and it's a fact of the NFL. If you're not evolving,
no doubt,
you're getting past.
No doubt. We have like 2 hours, but I'll give you
please,
as
long as you want. Yeah,
well,
we could go 90, and then we'll just throw all commercials in. We'll all be out of here early.
Say less.
Yeah, there we go.
Well, first things first, and we joked about it. This is our defense. It's our defense. It's the players' defense. It's the coach's defense. It's the Cleveland Browns' defense.
Yep.
And our whole goal is to play championship defense. There's no magic scheme that does that. There's a mentality and a style that does that, and we're going to continue to build on the style that's in place here. Amazing respect for what's been done here. But now, how can we make it ours? How can we keep it going and get that much more? How can we play that much harder, that much smarter, that much more violent? How can we go after the ball that much more? Everybody's got every front and coverage in the NFL. Everybody's got it in college. The secret sauce is our play style, and it's always going to be that style over scheme. We're going to talk about it. It's going to start with our attacking mentality up front. It's never going to change. That's going to be our engine, and we go as our engine goes. And to me, that's the secret sauce of playing great defense. That's how we're going to make it ours. Of course, we're going to install scheme. Of course, we're going to do different things that we think will help our players to put them in the best position to play championship defense. But it's always going to start with the heart, mind, fist, and going after the ball.
One thing I want to ask you about, because you're going to get to call the plays now. Is that something that you would, when you were in your previous roles, you'd be thinking about, oh, man, I would do this here, I would do that, and you're on the headsets, and I'm sure communicating with, whether it's Sal or whoever you're doing down Olbrich down there in Atlanta. Now that you get to do that, that's something everybody loves to do. Everybody who's played Madden can relate to that, right? You pick the plays. I think
It's been a long time since I played Madden.
Well, you're playing real. You got real Madden happening on the field. You're doing the real life stuff that they create the game about. But is that something you're excited about, and the chess match of it? And I think it's got to be fun for you having a guy like Dom Capers, obviously, who's here now, who's head coach, and he's done it at a high level. But also then Todd to be like, all right, this situation, what would you be thinking? What would you be thinking? I'm thinking, what goes back to the Princess Bride kind of. How do you figure out which cup you can ultimately drink? But is that something you're really excited about, that in-game chess match, that now you're the one moving the pieces? You're making those calls.
I'm excited about this whole process because I'm excited to watch our players.
Yeah.
I can't wait to watch our style come to life. In the end, calling the play is doing our best to put our players in the best position to win by what we've prepared for. But more important than that is, are we building our style, our DNA, playing hard, playing violent, playing attacking, playing grimy? To answer your question, as I was going through the process of my career and my journey, just like every other coach's process and journey, for me, I just tried to be where my feet were at all times. I really did, try and embrace and own the moments that I was in and naturally learn what was going on around me, because I just wanted to embrace those moments and get the most I could out of those moments. And then in the opportunities that I did to have call plays, I acknowledge it wasn't in a regular season game. I tried to take what I had learned and what had kind of become part of me and naturally call the plays that I thought would put the players in the best position to succeed. And then in the end, as you're calling plays, you're watching. Are we playing hard? Are we playing fast? Are we playing smart? Are we playing violent? Are we showcasing our style to make ourselves, the organization, proud to play championship defense?
You said there, all of our journeys are the same. Yours is a little different. When you get to this point, do you look back 25 years and you think about you're finishing up at Cornell? When did it hit you that you were going to attempt to go on this journey? And I say attempt because there is no promises.
For sure.
You know how this can go. At any point, you get with the wrong guy, you're done, and you're doing something else, and God knows what. But the conversations you had then with people who were important to you that led you to this point, when you look back on that, it's an unbelievable, it's a crazy path. When you look back on that, how do you reflect?
Well, I appreciate you saying that, but and humbly, every coach, every business person, you guys, we all have a story. It started somewhere.
Yeah.
And we all had different paths and different people who helped us along the way. And as I reflect back on it, I'm just super thankful to the people that helped me along the way. And I'm super thankful to the experiences that I had. I can't sit there and tell you in the moment, I was like, oh, this is definitely going to help me do this.
Yeah.
But I'm super appreciative of the process. And I'm still on that process, and we're all still on that process. And hopefully we can just continue to own each moment and continue to get better in that process.
Was there ever, though, I'm sure there had to be moments where you're like, is this going to work? Like,
Do you know who
you
the
have
first,
to have self-doubt.
Do you know who the first head coach
I
was?
do
that he
know who
worked
the
for?
first coach he worked for, but like, so it's Joe Gibbs out of the gate.
Well, it's Spurrier.
Steve
Oh,
Spurrier.
Steve
I was the
Spurrier.
player personnel assistant, and credit to Vinny Serrato, who gave me my first job. To get deeper into your question, when in 8th grade, when I realized I couldn't get the ball to second base as the catcher, and the guy was stealing second base, I was like, all right, this isn't going to work. So let me figure out where I can find success. And I got this amazing opportunity from Vinny Serrato, who believed in me. And fast forward to, and I just didn't have a ton of connection to Coach Spurrier because I was on the personnel side. Fast forward to Coach Gibbs, who I saw first and foremost the true definition of hard work. So I joined him on the ride and said, let's just work and fight as hard as we possibly can. And no, I never thought what's going to happen because you don't have time to think about that. You embrace each moment. For that moment was just hard work. I have no idea what my job description was for Coach Gibbs. I love you, Coach, but I don't think you do either. But we just worked. And we fought. And if he needed it, we got it done. That's it. And I was fortunate to meet Dwayne Walker there, who at one time was a Cleveland Browns. Fortunate to meet Dale Lindsey there, who played for the Cleveland Browns. And that brought me to a GA job at UCLA. And like every other GA, you work and you figure it out, and eventually you meet people and players who start to teach you about football. And hopefully you're able to internalize that information, to get creative with that information, to get adaptive with that information, to figure out what you think what works. And again, remember, it's not the secret sauce of the scheme. The scheme's important, but it's what makes players tick, what makes players go, what's our style, what do we look like, what's the fan in the stands leaving the game saying, that Cleveland Browns defense is violent as can be.
Yep.
All right? I almost used a curse word there. I didn't. They're as violent as can be.
Good job.
And thank you. And that's where, for me, Dwayne Walker brings me to New Mexico State. I have the great fortune of being a secondary coach at a young age. I got to figure it out.
Yep.
Let me tap into these personalities. Let me figure out who these young men are, who to this day are some of my favorite people in the favorite human beings in the world. Been invited to their weddings, get pictures of their kids, and that's why you coach. And that just continues, and you meet people, and you have experiences, and you work as hard as you freaking can, and you get as creative as you can, and you try and collect as much information as you can, and figure out what works by season, by off season, by season, by off season. And that's exactly what we're doing right now.
My kids are in the car right now, and they're 14 and 12. Boys, that's a lesson in life.
Yeah.
Relationships, hard work, acumen, whatever your profession is.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's right.
That was a masterclass right there, buddy. Yeah.
It's awesome. And it's crazy. Your connective tissue. One of the people who still has a voice in this area was a former defensive coordinator here, Greg Williams, his son Blake, when you got hired. And Greg Williams was the DC in 2004 on that Washington
He was.
team.
Oh my gosh, sure.
He was.
Greg and Blake, they were all like Browns fans. You guys got a real one. So, I mean, your connection to people that have been here is kind of staggering, honestly, when you go back even to that 2003 staff. But I think that's cool. And that was, Greg had kind of that fire and, the get off and all those things.
Absolutely.
But it's fun it's cool to hear the story and the things that have shaped you. And it's one of those things like it feels like you take a little bit from everybody, right? And you figure out, okay, I really like this. I like this. I like this. Here's who I am. How do I filter that through me
For sure.
so it's genuine? And then
It's
you
gotta
get to the point where you are now. I mean, listen, Quincy Williams, I got to sit down with him for, 10, 15 minutes. And you can tell that he is an interesting guy. He has a very kind of unique, I would say, outlook on the world. But your ability to relate to a Quincy Williams and then to relate to somebody else who, for example, he's going to play next to Carson Swisher. I can tell you, as somebody who's spent time with both of them, football-wise, probably very much same. They want to be studs. Very different personalities and approaches to the world. But your ability to relate to those people, because you said it's a people business. I just think it's very cool. Like hearing you right now, you get us fired up.
That's fun.
There's a lot of Tarv in there, which I love. Like there's just love ball. Like it's just ball and people. That's at the end of the day.
That's it.
That's it.
There's nothing better than, in my opinion, the NFL locker room. All the different people, the backgrounds, the different outlooks, the different upbringings, and can we all come together to do some really hard stuff, build relationships along the way, and hoist a trophy together? What else is there? It's the greatest art. There's going to be ups, there's going to be downs. We're going to thrive through all of them because of our bond and our relationships. And to then hoist a trophy and have success together, we'll remember it not only for the success, we'll remember those relationships. Can't wait to be around Carson and Quincy and then watch them jive together
That's gonna be
along
unreal.
with everybody else on the defense.
Yeah.
Because it's all of us. There's 11 of us out there and however many on the defense, and we're rolling together.
We don't know necessarily how the rules are, but for you, have you been able to talk to any of the guys and kind of introduce yourself? And I know they'll be back here soon enough, but how's that kind of been coming in? And because the players are probably like, all right, this is the same, but very, very new, and excited to meet you as well.
For sure. And it goes back to what we're talking about. And again, I'm not going to apologize for sounding like a broken record because I just believe in it so much. It's starting the relationships.
Yeah.
It's meeting new people. It's hearing what's important to them, hearing what makes them go, what makes them tick on the field, off the field, family, football. And then once everybody's back and we're within the rules of talking about football, we'll head in that direction. But I've had great conversations with the guys of just meeting them and hearing their voice and being able to put in, I'm a big FaceTime guy, putting a name with a face.
Got to see people.
And just learning who they are and meeting them. That's been a great joy, along with everybody in the building, which has been awesome.
Yeah.
From a football team defensive perspective, what are your non-negotiables?
Heart, mind, fist, the ball is oxygen.
That's
Build
it.
relationships. Done. It's not hard.
I'm going to ask you this one. I'm sure this is going to be easy
Sure.
too because you keep talking about it as we are getting introduced to you and as our audience is getting introduced to you. And I'm sure they're already enjoying this a great deal. What's your why?
My family. My family. But I have two families. It's very important. Stacy, Laney, and Luke are my family. They are my family. I love them unconditionally in a way that a dad loves kids and a husband loves a wife, and I know love me the same. But there's a football family here too in these walls.
Yeah.
They're going to be loved unconditionally football-wise because everybody needs that love.
Yeah.
Everybody needs those relationships. And I can't wait to continue to build my why with my own family, but start to really build, which we already have, this why and this love with this family, because then I know the playing hard, playing fast, and playing violent, when you have a love for each other and a connection to you, that bond's unbreakable. It's proven. It is proven. When you love each other and know about each other, hard times and good times, they can't mess with us. They can't mess with us. And when we'll enjoy celebrating together because we are going to celebrate. We are going to celebrate.
Coach,
I love
it is awesome to have you here.
Yes.
It is great to finally meet you. I've been loving it from afar in the pressers and stuff,
Appreciate
but it's
it.
great having you in the studio with us. Can't wait to see what you do with this defense. Welcome to Cleveland. I know you've been here
Thank
for a
you.
little bit for you and your family. I think it's going to treat you well.
This guy's going to be the mayor of Cleveland.
No.
We're just
There's no doubt.
so cool to have you, man.
Just
It's
want our
great
defense
having
to
you.
play great and help us win a championship.
Absolutely.
You said it, buddy. That's your new defensive coordinator, Mike Rutenberg. He joined us here in studio. You're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. All right, welcome back in. Cleveland Browns Daily, presented by Bally Bet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. I mean, that's shot out of a cannon. Ready to go.
It's really
So cool.
Really, and this staff and what we've gotten with Todd and with Rudy, and keeping Tarv and keeping B. Lynch. And one of the things we didn't ask, but like everybody who dreams about defense coordinator probably has a bunch of people that they're going to bring, and he had the and now maybe he did on other roles on that defense, but to have that kind of wherewithal that he does and just his passion like this, these are everybody who's in this business is a football junkie, no doubt, but there are certain guys where like a Tarv stands out to us guys who have talked to coaches our whole lives, or at least the last 20 years of our careers. He is invigorating. He is energizing. It feels like the guys are going to want to play hard for him. Todd has that on the offensive side. And so you've got these leaders now on this football team that this is all they want to do. And this is what they want to be. And I love that. I asked him his why. His family, and he said his football family. And I think I bet Todd has a very similar approach. Tarv, definitely, B. Lynch, Bonda, all of these guys that that we've come to know and really love and appreciate in this building. And man, that's just somebody you want to be successful, right? Like that guy. And it feels, you said it off air, but I'll say it on it. Like it feels like he is destined. If we handle our business here and become the team that we all believe we can be here, he's going to be a head coach in the NFL, because how could he not be, right?
It's the other thing that struck me is it's almost impossible for me to believe that like he wasn't somebody Todd knew for a decade.
Yeah,
just the stylistically,
his rep is just must have been incredible. But
and the stylistically, like this is a staff that, despite it kind of being a little bit of a shotgun marriage, it all fits. Really well. Which is a testament to Todd for seeing that and being egoless and taking, I'm sure, conversations. I mean, he's been around a long time. He knows people. He knows people's reputations. But, like, personality-wise, these guys all fit really well.
I don't know if you remember saying – do you remember what you said to me after his press conference?
After Rudy's?
Yeah. You said about Todd. You said he's blank. You said he's got a type.
Oh, yeah.
And they're just, you could tell, just cut from that very same cloth.
There is not to say that other staffs we've had here weren't. And everybody, this is honeymoon phase, right?
Of course.
But there is a synergy that this group has that is so abundantly clear. In terms of the way that they've come together and just like their approaches, there's an infectious enthusiasm with all of them.
There is... I think, don't know.
Yeah, we don't
know. But what I think that you will see that will be markedly different when you come, because the first time for our fans, right, to see this team is going to be at training camp. I think what you are going to see is a team that, and I don't know, this is just my guess based on talking to him, talking to Todd as I have. You're going to see a team at training camp that is going to do a lot more football at training camp. I think there's going to be a lot more physicality. I think there's going to be a lot more violence. I think there's going to be a lot more intensity. I think there's going to be a lot more football, because I think that they both fully believe, and it's a delicate balance. And I think we've had people and mindsets here of trying to walk that balance of keep everybody healthy, but maybe you're not as prepared for football or whatever it is. I just think that this is a group. This is a hard-nosed group.
Yes.
Todd Monken is hard-nosed. Rudy is hard-nosed. I think we are going to be a hard-nosed group this year.
I would agree.
What that leads to, I don't know. But I think at the end of the day, that's how football has to be played.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to be a hard-nosed group. Not saying we haven't been a hard-nosed group in the past. I just think you're going to see – I think our training camps have maybe not been what they've been maybe other places.
Yeah.
And I think that we are going to have a much more physical brand of training camp.
Yeah, I just think there's a real alignment of approach.
Yes.
With these guys. Like, I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of, I think we should do less, or I think which is amazing because they're all from different places. But just talking to them all, they feel like they're very aligned in the way that they want to go about doing this.
Yes.
Which is a hard thing to do when you're putting together a staff as quickly as all of this happens. I know for a lot of you out there probably felt like, gosh, what's taking so long with all these hires? Why did it? Well, it took a couple weeks, really, and you're talking about life-changing decisions that you're making.
Yeah, these are huge decisions. And for Todd Monken, this is his opportunity to get his staff right, and this is the direction that he went, And it's a credit to Rudy. You look at we have a first-time head coach, a first-time offensive coordinator, and a first-time defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Now, Travis was with him. Todd's really the offensive coordinator.
Sure.
And he's going to be the play caller, all of that. But for Rudy, this is his first foray into that space. And I just think it's very cool that think of how impressive he had to be to win over Todd Monken and the people that he was going against at the finalists at the end.
And also to win over the guys who are here.
Yes, absolutely.
To have them want to row in and say, we're in.
Yeah, Tarv was
let's go.
First thing Tarv's like, you're going to love him. You're going to absolutely love him. And
speaking
how could you not?
Hey, happy St. Patrick's Day.
We got our green on.
Mine, it's the best. This is the only thing I've got. And it's kind of an olive at best. That's a lovely, I think kind of a traditional green.
I got this at Sleepy Hollow.
A true green, a master's green, if you will, I would say.
It is. This is a master's hoodie. It's also, this is very much.
Green jacket, they've almost
This is
right
also
on it.
The green and really yellow combo of the A's of my youth. This is pretty spot on to that A's hat that I would wear.
What does Gibby got back there? Gibby's got something.
I got an extra shirt if you need it.
Oh, my God.
Magically delicious. Yes,
that is great.
Yes,
that is great.
That is good. Yeah, but this I got this at the Brilo last year.
At the Brilo, yeah. That's a
Was
nice.
that the game-winning putt, Brilo?
We did not get it done this year.
A couple years
we'll be
ago.
back. That was the walk-off eagle in the playoff with everybody
That's
watching, which was probably my favorite golf shot I've ever hit, other than the hole in one in front of the kids. But
the hole in one in front of the kids on camera is
pretty good.
That's a 1 in a billion.
Well,
the fact that it was rolling.
The fact that she's videoed
your kids were there, you were recording.
Maybe 5 golf shots I've ever hit in my life.
It's on camera.
Like on a golf course.
That's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
Gibby, what did St. Patrick's Day mean to you growing up in a town where it matters a lot?
So the funny thing was, because my parents are Irish, my mom's Irish.
Yep.
So you'd have definitely the Irish dinner. There was always corned beef and cabbage and all of that fun stuff. But like my parents were educators. They were like, you're going to school.
Sure.
Like you're not. It was like in high school that they were like, all right, you want to go to the parade, you can go to the parade with your friends. Like if you want to go, you can do that. Like stay out of the bars.
Yep.
Don't be dumb unless you have to use the restroom. Like get in there and get out. But I mean, my parents not big drinkers. But college was a whole different
animal
ball game.
How does BG do it? Do they do a pretty good?
Same as here.
Yeah.
Kegs and eggs.
All that.
I can remember senior year, my roommates and I had gone out the night before. Then we get up in the morning and we're all officially 21. It's the only time we're all going to be here together. But we'd been out the night before. It got a little sideways, and our one buddy showed up and literally just was hitting us with a bat to get up. So everybody got up. We went to Kegs and Eggs at 6 a.m. There's more green beer consumed before 8 a.m. than humanly should be allowed. At one point, I walk. I'm like, I have a 10:30 class. I'll be fine.
Yeah.
I can go. I can play this off, no problem. It's 10:15. I decide I'm not going. I'm like, no matter what, I have to go to the 1:30 class. And I remember being at a urinal. Now, mind you, I've been going since 6 a.m.
The story. We're now the new setting for this story is you're at a urinal.
We're at a urinal.
I'm in the restroom. I'm at the urinal. And
a tall man is at a urinal.
I get done washing my hands. There's a guy next to me. I go, hey, what time is it? I have a 1:30 class. He goes, brother, it's 2:15. I'm like, well, that's not happening either.
That's not happening.
We're just going to keep right on rolling.
All right. I have two things to say. Number one, Kegs and Eggs. Wasn't that?
Yeah.
You did a program.
I did a program, yeah.
With that name.
I did, yeah.
It's a fantastic
Kegs and
name.
Eggs, yeah.
Number two, best St. Patty's that I ever went to.
Was it big when you were a kid? In the Bay Area, do they do a big deal about it?
Not huge, but my mom's family, is a lot of Irish.
Oh, okay.
In my mom's family, so
more Chippewa or Irish for you?
More Irish than Chippewa.
Okay.
Yes, I'd say substantially so. But really, it's all in the same. All in my.
All there
in Papa.
Okay.
Papa had Irish, Swiss, Chippewa, and maybe some other things
Watch
as
out.
well.
Coming
I like
in
that
hot.
Chippewa Rising.
Yeah, Chippewa's rising.
It's on
Yeah,
the
yeah.
other show.
It's
Stock up.
stock up. Yeah. So in college, it was actually right after college. We went to Savannah.
Oh,
Savannah has it might be the best one in the country. I know Chicago's obviously big, and it's
warmer there, though.
but it's Savannah is
Boston, Chicago, Cleveland it's all cold. Like
Savannah's like St. Patty's Day Mardi Gras is what it is.
do you know
That whole-
how that happened? Did you learn that?
The
when you
lore
went?
of it?
Yeah. Like how did Savannah become?
I bet
Southern
I
St.
did learn
Patrick's
it.
Day,
If you
I
think that I had any chance of retaining anything that I learned that day, you would be mistaken. No, I retained absolutely nothing from
Nothing,
that day other than
nothing.
some great, ridiculous memories.
Yeah.
But the funny part about that story is you were just saying you were being beaten with a bat to get out of bed.
Yeah.
So the night before we had all gone out in Atlanta, and it was like one of those nights it was too much. And in fact, I had gone out for work, and it was one of these dinners where the second year guys at McKinsey were supposed to take the first year guys out.
Yep.
And it went to a very nice steakhouse, ended up being ridiculous. Remy Martin, Louis the 13th.
Oh,
which,
gosh.
At the end of the night, horrible idea.
Terrible idea.
Pretty much the worst.
Worst idea you could have.
So I didn't know this at the time, but nonetheless, I did not have all my faculties about me. I'm in bed. They want to go going to Savannah, and I am like, for all intents and purposes, not functioning as a human at this moment. And they beat me with a wrestling folding chair until I got
get
out
you
of
to
bed.
get in the car.
Yeah, and finally I'm just like,
Okay,
just stop
fine.
beating me. Just like,
Fine.
let me slink into the car. I got dressed and let me slink into the car. And by the time we got there, and then, you get a little hair of the dog, and all of a sudden you're back.
Absolutely. That's it. It's a
But I
rally,
was-
but I need a minute here to just get my faculties.
My mom won't be proud of this, but I did see some of my dinner from the night before on the way to the car. But these things happen.
Those things happen.
Oh.
You got to get rid of it. I mean,
These
you can't.
These things happen.
It's the only way to move on.
There are VHS copies somewhere.
Easy.
I was at Q104.
Okay.
I'm the assistant promotion director. I'm
Okay.
also on the morning show.
Okay.
It's the night before St. Patty's, and they're like, hey, we have a promotional shoot. And it was one of those where you would get a VHS in the mail from the radio station,
baby.
and you had to watch it for the code word and to win like $25,000.
Okay.
But it was also like an insurance policy. You could return, if you fill out XYZ and mail it in, you're registered to win $10,000. It's like a second place prize. And they're like, we're doing this all around the St. Patty's Day parade. It's a multi-$1,000 video shoot.
Okay.
And the person, they're like, we have a problem. The person that was going to be the leprechaun is sick and not available. I'm like, I'm in.
I am in. Yes.
They hand me this
Please.
costume
Please, God.
on
Do we have photos
St.
of
Patty's
this?
morning. We were live at Flannery's. I've got a TV station there. Our morning shows. I mean, we're kegs and eggs up at 6 a.m.
Come on.
So we're setting up at 3. Bring me this outfit. I'm like, how is this going to fit?
For those new to the program, Gibbe is not a small person who in any way would resemble a leprechaun.
That's right.
No.
Which are traditionally small.
Quite the
Just as a
So
for those new.
everything fits.
He would be a terrifying
except
leprechaun.
for the green tights.
Well,
but
of
I have
course
to
not.
wear the green tights.
This sounds like a bad as idea as when I dress
So
up as Robin
I
Hood for
do some
freshman year
altering
Halloween.
and I tape the tights to my leg. I duct tape the tights because at this point I'm not feeling any pain anyways. So let's go. I end up in the parade in a video shoot that went out to about 50,000 people in the Cleveland area.
Do we have
Where
this video?
is an image?
Yes.
My parents have a copy of it.
I want an
And I like
image.
it. I
That's
would
what I
like
need
it.
to see. I need to see.
I would like
I
it.
just
that
remember
image.
I'm in the background. I'm dressed as a leprechaun. My cell phone, because we had cell phones at that point now, the cell phone rings, and it's my parents. It's 6:05 in the morning. And I answer, and my mother's on speaker with my father. What in the hell are you wearing? I'm like, good morning, and welcome to
proud?
St. Patty's Day.
You proud?
You proud, Mom?
Yeah. You like what you see?
Look what I'm doing.
College degree got me this.
Mom,
we
I
go.
made it.
There's photos, there's videos.
I need to- I
my
need to see-
brother-in-law
I need to see
has
all of it.
I gotta have
copies
an
of it
image of this.
somehow.
I got to
Yeah.
see it.
But Yeah.
We live in a modern world. We got to get a still shot. I got to see something.
There is.
Take a
I took
picture of a
pictures with
photo,
people.
email, text it to you. Let's go.
There was a purity of the world then that like those things would only be captured by a select
Nobody
few.
realized.
Now you can't do it. It's nothing. I will.
You
say-
did not realize in that time. Anytime you behaved or did something like that, you assumed that people would see it in the moment, but it would not live
That's
on
it.
forever.
That's it.
That's gone.
Gone.
That's gone.
Gone. By the way, a couple of things. Number one, you've seen this trend around dad. You know, what were you like in the 90s? Have you seen these videos that are going around
I have.
social media?
Oh yeah, yeah, I have. Yeah.
First of all, they're great.
Yeah.
Most of them have been. I saw two today that I'll share with you off the air that were really
Quite
tickled
good.
my fancy.
Yep.
So it made me, I don't know, something for some reason, and maybe it's because all this weird stuff is all connected and the things they make us do. So Spotify then was like, hey, I got a great, summer hits of the 90s playlist for you to check out. Just curated. Came out of nowhere. Showed up on I've never seen this before or whatever. So I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of feeling the 90s
Let's go
right now.
Let's go.
do it.
Yeah.
In listening to it, maybe the second song that came up was I'm Too Sexy by Right Said Fred. This was the number one song in the world for like a
little
decent
while.
run.
Little decent while. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Listening to that back and to think that this was the number one song in the world is astounding.
The only thing that I can
A simpler time.
a more innocent time.
Yes.
And I think, like, Baby Got Back, I'm Too Sexy, in that moment probably felt risky or felt like it was pushing the envelope.
The way I'm disco dancing.
And now we'll be singing it all night. And in retrospect, 30 years later, very tame. But I think in the moment, I think that probably what it was. Like, it felt like it was really pushing the envelope a little bit.
Probably.
It's a terrible song. It's catchy as
tune,
hell,
but
but
it
it's
is terrible.
It's really quite terrible. Yeah. Yeah.
It's just,
Quite
I was just like, and then I was like, I got to watch, on Spotify, they give you like a 2-second snippet of the video that they just play on a loop. And I'm just like, watch this dying. I'm like, it's hard for me to get my head around. But there have been so many good songs. They've been a lot of the Dad, what was it like in the 90s? They play Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls, which is a great 90s song.
Yeah.
And it just struck me though that song came up. And then Chubba Wubba.
Oh, God.
Tub
that
Thumping.
thing's terrible.
Terrible song.
Terrible.
Also was number one for a great long time.
One hit
Terrible.
wonders.
Yeah.
Might be on the
Just
Mount
absurd.
Rushmore of that.
Absolutely absurd. So I
what
have
about
no
you?
I have no Irish blood at all. Either side. Didn't grow up with it. The only place in Montana that they would do it is Butte, which is a mining town to this day. And it is the one place, I swear, if anybody from out of state tries to move to Butte, good luck. Good luck.
They're
and
not having it.
Bring your brass knuckles because you're going to fight. And so they would have this massive St. Patrick's Day parade and party in Butte every year, 40 below zero, whatever it was, they do it. And I never went because I was always like, all you ever
Go to
heard
Savannah.
was like you
gotta
would
do it.
fight people
Yeah.
if you went there. And I had buddies who would went and they always ended up in fights. It was just like, that's what happened to Butte. It's just a rough tumble town. But my wife is a little Irish. And so one of the things that she does every year for the boys is Lucky Charms for breakfast
Fantastic
on St.
idea.
Patrick's Day, right?
They're magically delicious.
They really are. So she had a I don't know if she's in the car right now. She probably doesn't even know if I'm on the air. Fine. I'll tell it anyway. So last night she has a friend's birthday party. She gets home at like 10:20. She gets home and she goes, oh my God, I forgot the Lucky Charms. And she's looking at me and I'm like, well, I'm not going out at 10:20 to get Lucky Charms. Like I'm in.
Giant Eagle's
That's
right
it.
there.
It's right there. I'm out. I'm not doing it. So
Meyer.
so she goes, she's like, oh my gosh, I don't want to go back out either. And in fact, the place that she was going to go was closed. Okay, fine. So she goes, well, what about Dunkin'? Do you think they have anything like St. Patrick? I'm like, yeah, it's from Boston. I'm sure they got a green glaze or something like that that'll work for you. So fast forward to this morning. She's like, well, just get me up when you get up. So I get up at 6. So I get up at 6 and I'm like, it's 6. So I'm doing my morning activity, getting my show ready. She comes into my office at like 6:25. Now the boys have to be up by like 6:35 in order to get to school. So she's like, I'm going to run out. I said, well, you don't have time now. And she's like, you just woke me up. I said, I woke you up 25 minutes ago. You would have had time then. Now 25 minutes have passed. I'm
Got to
sorry.
get boots on the ground.
You're not going
moving.
to have time. Like I got to do this. I can't get them ready, so forth, so on. So she's like, okay, well, I guess they'll go without whatever. So
Bootsy is not.
now it's 7:20.
Bootsy
and I'm taking the two bigs to school at 7:20. So we get in the car, 7:20. Car pulls up to the front door. I go, oh, Amazon. Parker
Yeah.
goes, Beamsy in the back seat goes, Mom, DoorDash Lucky Charms.
Yeah.
I go, what? She did what?
Yeah. Good.
Before I even have a chance to say what, NBC goes, she goes, Beamsy, shh. So,
Would you think they were just going to magically appear and you'd be like, oh, what did they just, how'd they get here?
I take him to school. I come back. Bootsy's on his second bowl of Lucky Charms,
course.
sucking him down, living his best life. Now, to her credit, she did acknowledge
Well, she had to. What
what
else
happened.
was she going to say?
Well, I probably wouldn't have noticed. Like, I'm sure she was trying to get him to suck him down before I got home because I never would have noticed.
Yeah.
So $17.50 for a bucks of Lucky Charms later.
The memories are priceless.
But Bootsy gets his Lucky Charms for breakfast.
The memory priceless for Bootsy.
When I was promotion director, we used to have a bowl, and it was a bowl big enough for half a box of Lucky Charms.
Yeah.
And we did a Lucky Charms in beer, but you couldn't use a spoon or anything. You literally had it like
Oh, like
you ate.
great.
Yeah, in beer.
Now,
Sounds
Oh, yeah.
terrible.
I did say, I'm pretty sure Lucky Charms aren't from Ireland.
That's right.
Pretty sure.
Well, there's a leprechaun on it.
He's on there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's that.
General Mills, not an Irish
I
company.
don't think so.
No.
A couple of football things here. We did get this news. Wyatt Teller, 2-year deal with the Houston Texans.
Oh.
So there you go.
Do we
We
know?
were curious about this yesterday.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything with terms. Have you? You guys seen anything on the terms of the
No,
deal?
nothing yet. It's just a 2-year.
I like that for him. They need offensive line help.
So we got an offensive line from them. They got an offensive line from us. Yeah.
It was inverted.
Yep.
And then we did have a pretty big trade today. The Broncos sending number 30 overall, a third and a fourth in this year's draft for Jalen Waddle and a Dolphins 4. I don't really understand this from Miami's perspective. When you just sign a new quarterback, I don't understand that necessarily. They will clearly be in the market. I think their first pick is 11.
Yeah,
They're
It
the
is
one they
11.
own is 11.
Yes.
So my hunch is they would be on receiver at 11 is my guess.
I'll probably take one at 1 and 30, 11 and 30.
Might take 2, yeah, because Tyreek's gone too.
Yes. Their current receivers are Tutu Atwell, Jalen Tolbert, Terrace Marshall Jr., Taj Washington, and Malik Washington. That ain't it.
Is this a case of like what would be the thinking here if you're Halfley?
What's the thinking if you're Malik Willis? Like, you're going into a situation that is going to be very difficult. And quite frankly, if I'm Devin Achane, I'm saying, get me out of here. There are plenty of teams that would love to have Devin Achane
Good point.
being their running back. And I'd be like, why? I don't want to be wasted in my prime. I'm a position where I'm diminishing marginal utility every single year that I play. Get me out of here. Get me to Seattle. Seattle certainly could use him now that Kenneth Walker's gone.
Yeah.
I mean, who couldn't use him?
Everybody
get
could
me to
use him.
Houston.
Yeah, everybody could use him.
There are certain teams that probably would say we're pretty good at running back, but, shoot, Devon Achane with the Rams, send
gosh,
Kyron Williams over there and bring in Achane and give him a little something extra, a little sweetener. How does that not help?
There's two things. Number one, this speaks to what we talked about a while ago about Denver joining that group of, hey, we're
Totally,
going.
they're
So
going
that
for
group
it.
that's going is
They
getting
paid
bigger
up
and bigger.
a lot.
They
for
did.
Jalen Waddle.
They did. I mean, it's a 1, but like this, by all accounts, this draft,
A 1 and a 3.
it is, yeah. Well, you get the 4 backs, that offsets the 3 a little, but
But you also send a 4. It's a 1, a 3, and a 4 for Waddle and a 4.
But your therefore is going to be better than yours was by 20 some.
Yes.
So
It's
that's
almost
a little
around.
bit of it. That's kind of a it's basically a 1 and
Still
a
a
3.
lot.
It's a 1 and a 3 for Waddle. But if you're Denver and you're trying to win a Super Bowl and you feel like you're in a window and you got a guy who's a heck of a player, now you're putting him in. Are you going to get somebody at 30? Forget about the cap and the value and all of that. Are you going to get somebody at 30 as good as Jalen Waddle? No, you're not. So from Denver's perspective, I mean, I get it. From the Miami perspective, I have a hard time. I just don't know, like from the Malik Willis position, putting him in a position to succeed, it's hard to see it
Yeah.
because that's a tough. I think that's a tough sell. Tough sell.
Couldn't agree more.
I do have Kev. Thanks for sending this over from Mike Garofolo. Wyatt Teller, 2 years, $16 million with a max value of 23 via playing time incentives and whatnot.
Okay.
So 2 for 16.
Okay. There you go. And those are your hot topics today, presented by University Hospitals, official healthcare partner of your Cleveland Browns. We're going to have some bracket fun coming up on the program here in the second hour. You have that to look forward to, which is very, very nice. We've got some mock drafts as well. You listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Score big with Howard Hanna, official real estate partner of your Cleveland Browns, Northeast Ohio's #1 real estate provider dedicated to helping you make the best move. Visit howardhanna.com/GoBrowns to explore your winning options today. What is he doing over there?
Not paying attention to
What are you doing? Are you okay?
He's doing his own show over here.
Get over here.
Young Gabriel is suffering a medical emergency. I was
Oh, okay.
Tending
Well,
to
we don't
him.
want that. I don't want him
I
to
was
suffer a
tending to
medical
him.
emergency. Speaking of emergencies, by the way, if you missed the start of the show with new defensive coordinator Mike Rutenberg, you're going to
Seek it out.
You're going to want to find that because
You
that's
owe it to
20 plus
yourself.
minutes of pure enjoyment.
yeah,
You
he's
owe
great.
it to yourself.
He's inspiring. It's awesome. I'm sure you'll have it all over
Heart,
the podcast.
mind, fist.
I wrote it down.
It's on the wall.
I'm gonna be using that with the little kids.
With the
youngins.
absolutely.
I like that a lot. But speaking of emergency, it's 5 to 9 this morning. I'm about ready to kick off my morning activity, my morning work as I
Yep.
call it, and I feel a shake in the domicile that sometimes would happen like very close thunder, like you'll hear like a window move a little bit. I go outside, and it's pop, 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 pop. And I'm thinking, so it sounded like one of two things. It was either a
Sounds like
gunfire or like a detonation. Like if you hear like when they hear like a Vegas casino demolished and they have like those charges, like that's what it sounded like. So and then it went away. And I said, well, I don't know, something going on. Then 20 minutes later, guess who I find out what it was? Trotter. Jake Trotter, of all people, is retweeting that, in fact, it was a meteor.
I found it from the group chat. I had taken young Master Luca to the local grocer
Yeah.
to pick up a.
Love an adventure in the morning. Let's
He
go,
loves
buddy.
it.
Let's go
Oh,
on
yeah,
a little
let's go.
adventure.
Let's absolutely.
Let's go. Hop in. Let's go.
Yeah.
Little adventure. Let's see what's out there.
And by the way,
He's
he
having
is
the time of his life.
He is the star of this
Of course
grocery
he
store
is.
now. And
Yes.
the best part is there are a lot of the cashiers. There are a couple very, very sweet ladies, and they like brag on who he like. If he smiled at one of them, but
I
not
love
the
it.
others, she's like, "Oh yeah, Lucas smiled at me today."
That's right.
Where are you at? I'm number one. And
That's
I'm like,
right.
Oh my goodness gracious! But it's
everything
very-
you'd want.
Yeah,
Chip
very
off
cute.
the old block.
So we went there. Nobody even in the store felt it, heard it, nothing. Because I guess there's a lot going on in a grocery store.
Yeah.
But yeah, we didn't. I had no idea. And then I had a group chat that was blowing up. That was me, Miss K, her mom, and my mom, which is usually Luca material being discussed.
Right.
And they're like, "Did you hear this explosion?" Blah. I'm like, "What are you guys talking about?" And then sure enough, I go on, and now I'm seeing videos of it. So NASA, I don't know if you've seen this.
Well,
This
Gibby's teed up. He's
is-
meteorologist
sorry.
Gibby. This
Go
is
ahead, please.
meteorologist
I don't want
Gibby.
to step on his toes.
Meteorologist Gibby.
So this is, I guess, from NASA.
Yeah. Listen to
Through,
this.
I'm looking at one of the TV partners here in town is crediting.
okay.
Yep. Hey.
This little meteor was 6 feet and weighed 17,000 pounds.
7 tons. 7 tons in the parlance of our time.
6 feet, 7 tons.
Yeah.
That's right.
And
That's not a small meteor.
And it was moving at a speed of 45,000 miles an hour. So had this not fragmented over Medina County, and that's what their atmosphere is very good at.
By the way, that's the ... you were having.
That's the fragmenting.
It's coming down. You had fragments.
But nothing
that's what I
supposedly
heard.
hit.
There is. Small pieces may have
Okay.
landed in southern Medina County. They are investigating that.
But
That's your homeland, G-Man.
Yeah, maybe it'll rip off some more
7
siding 'cause
tons.
the wind did on Friday.
7 tons going 45,000 miles. Like if that had landed on somebody, it would have been very bad.
It was
Well, the somebody doesn't exist if that happens.
Well, that's right.
Neither would wherever
A
it
great
landed.
many things
It's
around them, and there'd be a lot of dust
was
thrown up in the air. It'd be
50
very bad.
miles above Lake Erie when the first flash was detected.
50 miles?
I kind of feel like we're kind of lucky, right?
I
Isn't
feel
this
we're
how-
very lucky.
Isn't this how cataclysmic events happen? A big asteroid
Yeah.
crashes in, and it almost.
I mean, they're going to have – I mean, the sign – I said this to you guys in the break. Like, I don't know. Should it have gotten that close? Maybe they just know that the atmosphere is going to take care of it, and I don't know.
I would think, like,
Is NASA monitoring this stuff?
how often does this actually happen? Because
Well,
not that often.
we're men, we're 40. I have no point of reference on this until today.
Same.
yeah, I'm not sure what this. I'm like, are there more coming? Can we get a heads up?
Well, yeah. I mean, do we get to hire some drillers
I mean, I've watched
to
Armageddon.
go up?
I
So
love
funny
it.
you and I both
What a
went there.
great movie.
You and I both went there.
Yeah.
We got to get some drillers, teach them how to be astronauts so that they can
So-
just parole the atmosphere and jump on one?
You need astronauts and train them how to be drillers. No, you need drillers, and you say just fly in this
fly
ship.
in this. We'll teach you how to do it.
Yeah, we'll
Quickly.
teach you how to do it.
Yeah, there are confirming now on the ground in Medina County. There are space rocks on the ground.
I imagine that there are. It's 7 tons.
Yeah, where does that all just doesn't burn up?
Wow. That'd be cool, though, now that there's no harm.
Yeah, for now.
Yeah. Holy
I mean, I've had a good run and everything, but
That is wild.
yeah,
That is wild. All right, we're going to do some brackets, CBD bracket.
I think so. G-Man, are you emceeing this?
G-Man, you ready?
Okay.
Hold on.
All right,
I'm
so
moving
the
out of
idea
way.
is 4
He's come up
regions,
with-
4 topics. We start in the top left quadrant, a.k.a. the East region.
Yes.
All right,
and
G-Man,
your
you-
topic for the East region, as we did it
Are we
last
going all
year-
the way through, or are we doing just like the first 2 rounds?
No, all the way through.
All
Go
the way
all the
through.
way to the Final
All
Four.
right, let's do it.
But we're only going to do 2 brackets or 2 regions today, 2 tomorrow. Is that the plan?
Correct.
I like it.
So we'll-
Yes.
All right, what's our
Go ahead.
young Gabriel?
Okay. Which team in the East region, your topic for the East region is branding. So which of these schools, I figured this would be the best one because this is like the region of death.
Yeah, this region's blue blood city.
So let's get some branding going. Your first matchup is Duke and Siena, the 1 seed versus the 16.
I'm gonna go with Duke there.
Graphics behind you on the
Yes.
I mean, look at Sienna branding.
Oh, so we're going by like logo and stuff. That's what we're okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Branding.
I mean, what
Look at Paulo. I gotta
great-
go. Paulo's there.
the great Hudson State champion, Patty O'Loughlin, proud Siena graduate, Siena Saints, St. Bernards. With all due respect to Pat, I think it's probably the Blue Devils.
Yeah, we're going with Duke.
On branding. I mean, Duke's going to be this bracket is loaded with brands that are
Totally.
very, very powerful and very big. But I think Duke basketball is probably a plus.
I will say this though. What is Paulo wearing right there? Paulo's my guy.
So
What
that's
is
when
that?
they got a little loose. During some of Krzyzewski's, they went to like a black uniform at one point, and then they went to like a navy. Honestly, some of the blue was a little too bright in the Zion times too. Like
Agreed.
JJ wore a little too bright of a blue. I think they got it back now though to the right shade.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's got to be Duke.
Yeah, they went to they had these jerseys with like a gothic look. I mean, they had those last year, like flag played in them. I don't know. Have they played in them this year, Gibby?
They do a couple times a year.
Yeah.
So the gothic uniforms, I think they're cool. I don't know.
I just think like pick your blue and own it. Like I don't need
I think
6
that's a
blues
fair
if you're
sentiment.
Duke. You know.
All right, your next matchup is the 8-9. It's Ohio State and TCU. If these two teams played in college football in 2014, boy, it would have been a treat.
I happen to like the Horned Frogs, and I like the logo. I like the colors, but we gotta go Ohio State here. I feel like we must.
I never understood. I've said this to people empowered Ohio State. I don't know why they have to put Ohio State across the block O. Like to me, Ohio State's logo should just be the block O.
Yeah, you don't need it.
You don't need to spell it out. Everybody knows.
Especially
who
with
it
the
is.
right.
Yeah. Buckeyes have a pretty strong brand.
Well, and you've said before too, like they've got some really good jersey options that they don't use often enough.
Now they started to. Jake's brought them back. So the one, if you're watching on YouTube, the one on the far right that Junie Mobley's in,
I like that.
It's a Clark Kellogg early '80s Buckeye uniform, but they used the gray, which they never wore. They wore white and scarlet in that time, but they put the gray in it. And then the one on the left is the Jimmy Jackson, where it says
I
Ohio
like that.
State.
I like that.
So those are gorgeous.
I actually
And-
don't like the one in the middle.
well, that's the current one, and I agree with you. They should just go to these two. The one on the left is the Jimmy Jackson red.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Which
Ohio,
is beautiful.
and then the number, and then
the
state.
state below it.
Yep.
The Jimmy J grays are my favorite ones that they've worn, but the Clark Kellogg script is beautiful too.
Yeah.
All right, your next matchup is the St. John's Red Storm and the Northern Iowa Panthers.
I mean, Johnny's. Right? I mean, the Red Men, when we were kids, they were the
Yes.
Red Men.
I don't
Yeah.
like them being the Red Storm.
Yeah, that's what happened at that time. I mean, that's all that stuff happened.
I don't like it.
You want to go with that Panther?
No.
I'll roll with the Panther if you want. I think it's kind of a generic-looking Panther, to be honest.
The St. John's, the white and the red right there with that font on the St. John's, which looks a little Chris Mullinish.
Yeah.
I do like that, but they're colored. I mean, that is purple and gold go well together, and they've somehow managed to make those look pretty unattractive.
St. John's it is.
St. John's. Am I wrong?
No, you're not.
Oh. All right, your next
Ali
matchup
Farokhmanesh
is
at Northern
probably my favorite branding in college sports. The
Cal
Kansas
Baptist.
Jayhawks.
Let's go.
And the Cal Baptist Lancers. With
This is
probably
not a fair fight.
the ugliest mustard gold you've ever
What
seen.
is that? CBU?
Can I ask a question?
I mean, Jayhawks is by a landslide, obviously, but
How
Yeah,
in
but
the
yeah,
world?
that same script too. That's
Yeah,
the,
it's a
that's
very good
the
Danny
old
Manning.
script. Yeah.
How can you be the Cal Baptist Lancers, which to me invokes a lance? You
Yeah.
could have a guy like in, a Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, on a horse jousting. You could have
Jousting.
a jouster.
Yeah, for sure.
I think the St. Mary's Gales actually have that. But you just go with CBU? You don't have a lance on your logo?
I'm with you. It's in Riverside too, which is like kind of on the way to the desert out of Los Angeles.
Kind of looks like they're saying they're like Cell Block U, which I don't like.
Yeah, this is
Out.
a landslide.
Kansas lance.
By the way, I was just in Lawrence 2 weeks ago, as you guys know.
Yes.
And you know what a jayhawk is? It's a fictional bird, but what they did is they took the blue jay, which is an incredible pest and a robber of other nests. Blue jays are beautiful, but they're awful.
jerks.
They're total jerks.
Yeah.
So they took that, and then they took the hawk, the red hawk, which is from that region, and they basically created a bird. And if you go on campus, they've had like 8 different varieties of the jayhawk bird through the years, and they have a bronze statue, probably 5 or 6 feet tall, of each one of them that they've had through the years. And they've had basically this one since the 40s.
Yeah, that's good.
This one's been since the 40s.
Yeah, that's
This is
that's
awful.
some impressive
This is
branding.
embarrassing.
Yeah, it's bad. Bad job at a Cal
Yeah,
Baptist.
tough performance out of Cal Baptist. We'll move on to the other portion
I love
of
the
the
guy who
East
reminds me of
brackets,
Delonte West, though.
where you get Louisville and South Florida. Now, I don't know about you guys, but to me, the gold that South Florida employs is just horrible. How can you...
All right, so I agree. This South Florida is one of the most stupidly branded institutions
awful.
on planet Earth. There is
Yes.
nothing south about Tampa in Florida.
No.
Also good.
Nothing. So it's a total botch. And the bull, I don't even understand. Is that supposed to be a T in the middle of the bull? Why is the bull's head
For
cut out in the
Tampa.
middle? For Tampa?
Or he's been cleaved. Maybe he's a bull on his.
I don't even understand.
He's on his
what-
way out.
So Louisville.
And I do think Louisville's a little behind in terms of their branding. Like, I feel like they could use a little bit of a refresh. But
I think
still,
those stink. You got the cheat code colors, and I think they stink. This is just
This one's
South
not
Florida's
too
worse.
bad. It's just this is valedictorian of summer school.
Yeah. All right. Louisville moves on. Moving on, Michigan State, North Dakota State. You get the Spartans and the Bison. Some
What
fun uniforms.
in the heck is going on with that green North Dakota State uniform that looks like that guy's running cross country?
So they are, and the other thing that really annoys me about North Dakota State is
That's a great logo.
it is, but they insist on being called the Bison.
Zin.
Zin. Z.
They should
Not
have sponsorship with Zin.
Just because it's North Dakota.
The Bison.
Bison.
How do they not have that guy on any of their uniforms?
I think they might. How do you not just have Bison across your...
Young Gabriel, this is incredible work you put together. By the
Thank
way, I can't stand Michigan State because of meat cleaves, but
Yeah.
that black one with just the Spartan helmet on it is pretty.
The best thing that happened to
spectacular.
Michigan State was the movie 300.
Yes.
So if you go to a football game in East Lansing, everything is built around 300.
Sparta and 300,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
good. I'm
All
with
of
you.
it is.
All right,
We are
Michigan
Sparta,
State.
all that.
All right. By the way,
Pretty chalky here, by the way.
I'm going to tell you, I was going to say, very disappointing. Like, if you're a small school, you should have a cool brand.
Yeah.
Moving on, UCLA and UCF. I think UCLA is going to be a tough one to beat here.
I think UCF did a really nice job. There aren't any other Knights. I think the black and soft gold, the Vegas gold, is cool. They actually are in Central Florida, so it makes sense.
Yes,
And honestly,
Orlando.
if they would have played some of these other teams, like if they were playing Michigan State or Louisville, I could have easily gone that way. It's just that this is Camelot of college basketball. It's one of them.
I mean, that throwback in the middle for UCLA with the block Bruins across it, it's gorgeous.
UCLA blue, all of it.
Oh,
They
it's
don't have
just
a bear anywhere. There's
beautiful.
no bear in any of their stuff, but
I'm nonplussed. Where's O'Bannon? Where's Tyus Edney?
Current
30 years
branding, man.
ago.
Did Don McClain go to
They haven't
UCLA?
changed. These are all the same. Yeah, he did.
Donnie McClain?
He did, yeah.
I think these are great.
I mean,
I'm into 'em.
I think UCF's great. I have no problem knocking out UCLA
Let's knock
if you
UCLA
want.
out. Yeah, let's get a
Just
little.
to mix it up?
Yeah, mix it up.
UCF it is. I like you.
UCLA's got too much going on to be as bad as everything is for a once proud sports institution.
They're beautiful.
All right.
So I'm done with them.
I think that's a Pac-10 hatred going back.
That could be.
I love the Pac-10. I can't believe the Pac-10's been disbanded.
Final match for the first
Dissolved.
round. UConn, who you guys think is the best program of the 2000s, and I disagree.
Yep.
And
5
Furman.
titles. Furman of the Paladins.
Yes,
Which
the
could
Paladins.
be great if it's a like a role-playing game paladin.
Dins?
Get out of here. Kindly leave.
The Dins.
Their old Huskies better than the new one. UConn's old Huskies better.
Agreed. Those uniforms are. They should be. Central Florida's looking like they're going to pull an upset in the second round, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, UConn. UConn wins over.
Those are
All right,
boring.
UConn moves
The
on. So that'll do it
Dins?
for the first round.
Dins?
Yep.
They're the Paladins, and they don't have like a cool Paladin dude. Do they actually have a secondary logo that's like a dude?
I have no idea. They're,
hood?
they're
Have
South,
that diamond
Carolina.
logo.
It's South Carolina, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't that where the Furman is?
Furman. I mean, when I hear the Furman, first of all, now I see this is terrible. I think of O.J. Simpson.
Mark.
Yeah.
All right. Second round.
That's what I think of.
I didn't go. I haven't thought about him in 35 years. That's amazing. That's great.
I obviously don't have graphics
25 years.
for the second round because
Because how would you know?
that would
All
have
right, go ahead.
taken
We're,
me
we're
all
good
day.
though.
Duke and Ohio State. This is an interesting one. Best branding. Just basketball, though.
I think Duke basketball.
Duke,
probably
Kansas, Michigan State.
Well, hold on. We don't want to go that fast.
No?
Easy now.
Sorry.
We got to get through it. Yeah, it's Duke. Duke for sure.
Duke.
Yeah.
It's got to be Duke.
Next,
St. John's in Kansas.
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 It's got to be Kansas.
Well, let's talk about it for a second. Kansas.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Louisville
I'm just trying to slow the pace down a little bit.
and Michigan State. You know, I used to be a big
Denny
Louisville fan.
Crum.
The great Denny Crum. Rick Pitino in the white suit.
Rick Pitino
Gorgeous.
in a white suit.
Yeah.
Give them their championship back.
They should. Yeah. Give all those. Yeah. Who cares?
Who was on that team? Who was the?
I mean, Donovan Mitchell wasn't on that team, but he was there. Remember they had that was the year the kid who broke his leg.
Kevin
Yeah.
Ware, yep.
Going off the side of the
Yeah,
court,
yeah,
right? 'Cause
yeah,
they had
yeah.
the high.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand why they do that. Though. I know that they just. Why can't you construct?
Because they play him in those. They put him in those. They do it for the seating.
So the
they prop
players
it
are
up so
low.
the players are elevated. Yeah, so that it's like a stage. It's absurd.
Yeah.
If you're going to do it, then you need to have 20 feet of floor beyond the line.
That's how Rick Rude broke his back on some similar type of dumb setup and ruined his career. And he was
I loved
great.
him. Loved that guy. I like the
Simply
heels,
ravishing.
man.
Yeah, me too. Of
Him
course.
and Mach had a feud that was awesome.
He had a great feud with the Ultimate Warrior as well.
Yeah.
That was at WrestleMania. Yeah, Mach, Mr. Perfect, and well, they were all the bad guys. But those are like the three best: Mach, Rude, Perfect.
Yeah, those
Like,
guys were
good
great.
legends.
Yeah. All right, where are we at?
Sparty or Cards?
Sparty.
Good thing you guys slowed me down. 3 for 3.
Takes us to the last matchup, which is UConn and UCF.
UCF, UConn. Goodbye. See ya.
Yeah, I think so. I think
Boring.
I think UCF's branding is pretty good.
Yeah.
Kind of a start from scratch, but
Where are the
colors
Danielle
cool.
Marshalls?
I think they do have them.
Where are the Ray Allens?
They're wearing the Ray Allens now. I was watching the Big East semifinal. It was UConn Georgetown. UConn was in the Ray Allens and Georgetown was in the Iversons. Saturday.
Where's Georgetown?
Incredible. They suck. Not
That's
in the tournament.
ridiculous.
Yeah, they're garbage.
Was Khalid Al-Amin? Was he a UConn guy?
Yeah.
He had like the greatest Big East tournament ever, right?
I'll tell you what I called him. And yeah, they won a national title. Yeah, he was stud. Wore 42 as a point guard, which
Yeah.
is awesome.
Yeah.
Sweet 16 time. Duke and Kansas branding.
This is
Tough
there's
call.
4 blue bloods in college basketball. It's Duke, it's Kansas, it's North Carolina, it's Kentucky. I was just at Kansas. I think Kansas is like the Notre Dame of college basketball. It's what it feels
Everybody
like
stayed there in a blowout. Kansas.
to me. KU, Rock Chalk.
There you go.
What's the story of that?
Sorry, Gibby.
Just because it rhymes with Jayhawk to say Rock Chalk Jayhawk?
I don't know. They had things that there was so much history there you couldn't even almost take it in.
Yeah.
It really reminded me of Notre Dame. Is what it felt like. Everywhere you
Cathedral.
went, there was history.
Like cathedral.
Second Sweet 16 matchup of this region, Michigan State and UCF, Spartans and Knights.
I'm going to be honest with you. Knights, a little bit better armor. Spartans very exposed. Turns
They really
out
are.
Turns out there's a scene in Game of Thrones where these mercenaries, I think they were the Second Sons.
Did they ever show up?
No,
Oh, no, Second Sons.
I think
yeah,
they were the Second
like
Sons
third
when they
season.
had the original Dario Naharis, who was much better than
superior
the other.
Dario Naharis. Yeah,
So superior. Who just showed up, by the way, in a show I'm watching. What show did he just show up in? And I was like, oh my God, that's Dario
Naharis, the original.
And Kayla's like, how do you even know that? Oh, we watched the new Jurassic Park movie. The most recent was ScarJo.
Yeah,
And he's in it. And I'm like, that's Dario Naharis. And she's like, how do you know that? I'm like, because it is. Because he was so much better. Then they replace him with like an emo skateboarder with a bob.
it was very strange.
This guy
Like,
was a striking, tall, blonde guy who looked like he
yeah.
would have been a great match for Khaleesi.
For sure.
You could have, yeah. Anyhow, there's that fight where they are going to like, it's about to get rough and tumble. And I think he's going after, one of their guys is going after Jorah Mormont.
Yep.
And he hits him, and the sword kind of gets into the armor. And obviously Jorah Mormont's okay, but it's like kind of stuck in there. And then Jorah Mormont cuts his head off.
Yeah.
So Knights, UCF.
Knights over Spartans. UCF
All
on the
that
Elite
to
Eight.
say, the Knight clears the Spartan.
Well, then it's
And then it's Kansas.
And then it's Kansas.
Yes.
There you go.
there. You go.
There we
All
go.
right.
All right, that was based on branding.
That was based on branding, and so the
Branding.
we'll do one a little later on the best campus student atmosphere.
Yes.
Okay.
That'll be your South
good.
region.
How much
All right,
later?
very
I
good.
mean, I feel like it's
We will do that. Yeah, you have that among other things to look forward to. You're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Classics. Witness his new album live in Cleveland. Don't miss out. An incredible night of country hits. Get tickets now by visiting huntingtonbankfield.com/Zach.
With heaven on top.
Whoa. 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 G-Man.
Whoa.
G-Man.
Young Gabriel.
Let's do it. Let's do it. We
The
ready?
pipes.
We ready?
South
what region we're
region.
in? Let's do it.
The South region is which school has the best campus? More beautiful campus / best student experience, atmosphere, that kind of thing.
Okay, so
Some of these are gonna be hard.
Basically,
Can I-
where
can
would
we-
you go to school?
I think that's what you're looking. Like if you're between the ages of 18, if it's time to make a decision on where to go to school, what atmosphere / school do you want to be a part?
Yeah,
Is
money's
that it?
not a
Of course.
money's not a factor.
Never
you
is.
know?
Never is. Never is. All right.
So we start with our 116 matchup, and before we do that, we'll have to discuss whether you would take Prairie View A&M or Lehigh.
Don't care. Doesn't matter. Gainesville would
Because
be a
you're
ball.
going to Gainesville.
Gainesville would be a ball. I don't love Gainesville. As the SEC campuses go, it's of the ones I've been to, it's mid-table. But it's still Florida. It's still warm. They have live gators walking around campus, which is pretty cool. The O-Dome is right across from the swamp, which is really cool. All of their athletic facilities are in the same place. There was a place where the Ric Flair
Yes.
used to have a great time called the Purple Porpoise, which is great. I don't think it exists anymore. The swamp does still exist, I believe, which is the name of an establishment across the street. So, yeah, Gator. I don't think that's close, that one.
Yeah, no, I don't particularly think so either. Moving on to your 8-9, which is Clemson University, the Tigers in Clemson, South Carolina, or Iowa, the Hawkeyes in Iowa City, Iowa.
You know, that's a very nice picture you see of Iowa there, but half
tried
of the
to pick
year
the
it
most
does not
flattering
look like
ones,
that
yes.
at all. Clemson, South Carolina. The only knock on Clemson is Scarlet.
That's a negative.
But other than that,
I told him to get his butt on the road today, by the way. You weren't even in here. I don't think you were in here for that. Like, he's got to go to Happy Valley. I'm like, dude, you need to get going now.
you go.
You can't be in this.
No. I'm going to go with Clemson.
Iowa it's a sleepy, really cool place, but it also has winter, and Clemson doesn't.
That's it.
So,
That's it
Yeah,
for me.
I mean, the only criticism I think you could have of Clemson is that it's really nowhere near the beach. It's so far inland, but
It is.
you're in South Carolina, it doesn't matter.
really the middle of nowhere. It's
Yeah.
it's a tough place to get to.
Yeah, it's
But it's
pretty
a really cool campus, and I get it.
All right, moving on. Vanderbilt University in Nashville and McNeese somewhere in Texas.
This is a landslide.
Yeah,
Not
it's
even close.
Not particularly close.
Not even close.
Vanderbilt's beautiful.
Vandy.
Great
We love
city.
Vandy.
We
Easy,
love
easy.
Vandy. We hope that
Big Vandy guys.
we hope that hard and dry. I walked right there. I walked right in this picture here. I walked right where that white car is. Walked down that street. The beautiful tower, bricks, Nash Vegas, not far away.
Yeah. Vandy's
Yeah,
going to be Vandy's
Vandy.
good.
Number one, baby.
Let's go. The Commodores move on. Our 4-13 matchup in the South region takes us to either Lincoln, Nebraska, or Troy, Alabama.
You can't believe where the University of Nebraska is.
Yeah. It's like intertwined in downtown Lincoln and
Well,
Nebraska.
you fly into Omaha, and then you got to drive. I was there 14 years ago, something like that. The first time Ohio State went out there. I want to say it's like 70 miles from Omaha.
Jeez
You got to
Louise.
hoof it. It's a really cool college experience. I have no point of reference on Troy. They have a nice fountain there, but I mean Troy, Alabama. It doesn't feel like a place, but it's also warmer. But it's also I feel
I mean,
like
if
I'm
you're
just gonna
taking-
go in there
we're
and
doing
think of
atmosphere
if
though,
you're
right?
taking atmosphere
Tom
into-
Osborne.
It's got to be Nebraska.
I mean, you think about it doesn't matter how horrible their football team is; they'll always sell that place out. Always.
There's a little bit of they may strategically give tickets away that are sold out to the local schools to make sure that streak continues. That may happen. There's whispers that may happen.
People are saying it.
People are saying it.
Moving on, 6-11, Chapel Hill, North Carolina, UNC, or good old Virginia Commonwealth University in. Do we have a city on that?
North Carolina's on
I
a
didn't
very
Google
short
the city.
list. And
Richmond.
North
per
Carolina's on a
Dr. J.
VCU looks really nice.
That's
North
a beautiful picture.
North Carolina's on a very short list of the best campuses on the Eastern Seaboard. It's up there.
Yeah.
Of all the ones I went to, it would be in the conversation of the best.
Not for me.
There it is.
It's beautiful. I mean, the campus is beautiful. Everything makes sense that they did there. Yeah, it's Carolina.
Perhaps a player to make it to the Final Four, UNC. Moving on, this one I think could be a tough one. This is
it's
your
not.
314 in the region. This is the University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign, or the University of Pennsylvania, the home of the
Okay.
Quakers, Ivy League, in Philly.
I want to know when the hell they took that picture. Because I've been to Champaign about a dozen times. It ain't ever looked like that.
Nope. Nope.
Ever.
Never. That is a college campus in the middle of a cornfield.
That is
A cornfield.
pure suck, is what that is.
Not great. It's not a great place.
I love Philly, so I'm going Penn.
It's Penn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
Every time I've been to Champaign, now it's
ILL
Ohio State
all
always
the way, but not on
Ohio
this.
State always plays them in football in November, it feels like, and then they play them in basketball. The one time I was over there, it was February. I didn't even see the sun ever.
Nope. That's
And the
about
wind
right.
blows 1,000 miles together.
Now it's a great great college town. There's some drinking.
I'm sure.
Arsenal's
Always is. Penn. Quakers. Let's
Penn
go.
Quakers, Eberiche Eze, 1-0. What a finish. It's my guy.
Yep.
They're all my guys. St. Mary's College of California, your 7th
Where's the
seed.
picture of Pedro or Nana?
I thought they were Santa Clara.
No, St. Mary's.
Oh, St. Mary's.
Yeah, yeah.
So what is this
Santa
camp-
Clara's Tarv. It's in Moraga, California.
Or
As
you
see
get
some old
College
mission
Station.
style.
Where is
looking.
that from? Like, give me a bigger point of reference.
With probably 45 minutes, kind of in the hills outside of the Bay Area, like over in the. Here, let me pull it up.
Okay, Northern California, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
So, if this is what was our criteria when we started this?
This is
was it
student atmosphere. Essentially,
okay?
if
Just
you
buy.
were-
Yeah. So here's the thing: there's no question that if you go to Texas A&M, there's an atmosphere. But my God, is it a choice?
It
Yes.
sure is. I mean,
Gig 'em,
College Station is
Aggies.
nowhere.
Come
Middle of
on,
nowhere.
gig 'em with all the dance nonsense that those guys do. No thanks.
So Moraga
for you.
is basically west or east. I'm sorry, east in the hills, east of Oakland, over by Mount Diablo, and on the way to Mount Diablo. Very nice. By Orinda Parks, Moraga, Rancho Laguna.
What's
It's a
the
tough-
weather like there?
I'm sure it's
year-round?
great.
It's a Bay Area.
Bay
This is
Area, it's great.
Yeah, you're correct.
But we're not doing that. We're doing atmosphere campusy. The only argument that I could get St. Mary's to win this
It's
to try to
Pedro.
argue is
Pedro.
without going with personal biases would be that Texas A&M may or may not be a little different.
It's quite a bit different,
Yeah.
as we've seen from recent videos that have gone viral. Also, College Station.
No idea.
Where
But
is that?
It's in the middle
It's
of
East
nowhere.
Texas. It's East Texas.
So it's
close,
hot.
close to like it's near Houston would be the biggest.
But are we talking like
Metropolis.
how many hours from Houston?
Oh, it's not that far.
No.
No. My hunches would be less than I don't know, that hour and 30
It
maybe.
takes like an hour to get from their stadium to their airport in Houston.
Yeah, I'm fine with St. Mary's.
Let's just do it for fun.
Going with the Gales.
Yep.
Terrific. So now we get this one, which I find fun and interesting. You get the University of Houston in, you guessed it, Houston,
Yep.
versus the University of Idaho, the Vandals, in Moscow, Idaho.
It's a beautiful campus.
Get the Kibbe Dome, too.
Kibbe Dome's a disaster, but the the area is pretty. It's a really pretty place.
I
But
gotta go with Houston. I think.
I mean, I honestly, I don't know. I mean, Houston is an urban campus, for sure.
This looks idyllic and beautiful.
I think it's Idaho.
I think it's Idaho, too.
Ignore the two teams.
I'm not ignoring that. I was gonna say.
I don't know
just-
which one does it matter.
I don't think I'm gonna be having a great time in that place in February.
But we're not doing where would we want to live. We're doing atmosphere right here. What
Where
are we
do you
doing
want to
here?
go to college? It's where do you want to go? from
Every
the
time
whole-
we go to Houston on a road trip, it sucks.
Yeah,
that
it's
place
brutal
sucks.
heat.
terrible.
Idaho's
I'm
lovely.
out.
How far are we from Coeur d'Alene?
Not too bad.
Can we
You
go
zip
golf
up there.
in the
Oh
summer?
yeah, of course you could. Yeah.
All right, we'll go to Idaho. I think this is bad for our bracket, but we don't care.
That's all
I
right. We
think it's
can't worry
quite
about
bad.
that.
Yeah, I think Houston could go all the way out of this region. To be
They very
honest
well
with you.
could. I think I have them going all the way. All right, go ahead, G-Man.
All right, that takes you to Florida in Gainesville or Clemson in Clemson.
I've been to both of these. You'd probably rather be a Gator than a Tiger.
Yep. Could see that. So where is Gainesville in relation to Tallahassee, Bo?
So Tallahassee's in the Panhandle. Gainesville is kind of like if you can imagine a triangle diagonally that has Jacksonville, Orlando, and then Gainesville in the middle.
Gotcha.
That's kind of how it goes. And then so Gainesville's pretty strategically located.
All right, so takes us to our next matchup in the second round, which is Vanderbilt and Nebraska. Nashville or Lincoln. I think this one's pretty straightforward as well.
Yeah, Vanderbilt's going to be tough to beat. There's only one here that I think has a shot.
So that takes us to North Carolina and Penn.
Carolina.
Philadelphia or
Carolina.
Chapel Hill.
Carolina.
Yeah, it's Carolina. Because you also have the atmosphere and everything else. It's Carolina.
Of course.
Yeah.
St. Mary's College or the University of Idaho.
Fighting Nanas.
The Fighting Nanas
Let's go.
and the Crazy Pedros.
Although you'd have a great time at both of those.
yeah,
both
they're
of
both
those.
getting run out in the next round anyway.
Probably, yeah. So takes us to our Sweet 16 matchups, which is Florida and Vanderbilt. So would you rather be in Gainesville or Nashville? Which Ville?
As an adult,
We got to go to Vandy.
And as an adult, I'd rather. The one thing I will say about Vandy has become something different in the last 3 or probably 5 years
Yes.
athletically than it was.
Yes.
When I was there. So like they put in a lot of money into all their operation, and now they have like an environment. They had none of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're no longer the
15
GPA
years ago.
booster.
They had Jay Cutler and they had Tarv.
Yeah, right, but like they had nothing. Yeah, I mean, I think
Two
now
pretty
it's-
solid options,
I
to
think
be fair.
these are both great. You'd have a great time at both. I would say Vanderbilt though probably would win.
Vandy moves on to the Elite Eight. And are we all
Yeah, it's Carolina.
in agreement with Chapel Hill?
Yeah.
UNC over St. Mary's?
Yeah, yeah.
There you go. For a spot in the Final Four against Kansas for criteria that will determine
Jeez.
probably 5 minutes before we talk about it tomorrow.
It's a heavyweight fight there.
Vandy or North Carolina, Chapel Hill or Nashville.
Jeez, that's really tough. That's really tough.
At some point, we have to put like not a basketball lens of which team is better because Vandy's technically a 5 seed, Carolina's a 6 seed, but like because it's the NCAA tournament, are we looking at like from
Through
a
a basketball
basketball
prism?
history prism?
Well, if that was the case, I mean, it's UNC.
It's Carolina landslide. If you're thinking about what they are right now, I think Vanderbilt might be better than Carolina
Yeah.
because Caleb Wilson's out. So like Vandy has a better chance, I think, to do this.
Let's do it
For
Artie.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, if there's any chance that somebody from Vanderbilt's listening and then
yeah.
Buckets gets goodwill,
Come on,
come on, hey. I'm down. Vandy.
Commodores to the Final Four. We'll get your West and Midwest regions tomorrow.
Are we going to pick the winner between Kansas and Vandy?
Yeah, we can. Sure.
Gibby's going, no, go to break, you dummies. We don't have time.
Wait till the Final Four.
We'll do that. You're
Okay.
listening to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Add more fun to your fan of the Ballybet Sportsbook app. Download today. Get 50 back in bonus bets. You place your first wager of 10 or more. Ballybet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Looks nice out there.
It looks great. By the way, I've got
Just
some
awesome.
breaking hockey news for young Gabriel. Leon, how do you say it? Draisaitl? Draisaitl out for the regular season.
Oilers are cooked.
Oilers are cooked. You heard
Wow.
it here first.
Good grief.
I'd take City coming over here. He's
Ronnie
got
McClain.
Arsenal. We're talking hockey. We got football.
Coach's Corner with Ron McClain and Don Cherry here on a
Don Cherry.
on a
Don
Tuesday.
Cherry.
That
a
guy.
good job. That's a good one.
He was a big factor in my youth. We used to get the CBC, the Canadian Broadcasting Corp, and would get a little hockey night in Canada on the reg.
Always brought to you by Molson Canadian.
Always.
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 I think I think Don Cherry had about a dozen of them before he went on the air sometimes.
God, he was great. He was
Or
so
while the
good.
game was going.
He was so good. Is he still around? I know he does. They don't do that anymore, but like, is he still with us?
I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it feels like hockey out there. Guys, be safe out there if you're matriculating around. Good Lord.
Get an Uber.
Man.
Yeah,
If
Uber
you're-
it
if
up,
you're gonna,
lift it
You're
up.
going to have a little cocktail or 10.
What was your traditional Irish order?
2 minutes.
I mean, I just a beer drinker, but I
You do a Guinness or you do like a Smittix or a Harp or something
no.
like
I
that?
literally will drink a Bud Light.
At least put green food coloring in
Yeah,
it?
that's right. Like I could do Smittix. I like Harp. I can't do Guinness.
It's so
I have
funny.
tried it. It is not
take?
appealing to me at all. It's like drinking motor oil.
It's so interesting because a lot of people think it's really heavy, but it's actually quite light.
It's light.
like
yeah.
the calories on it it's under 100, I think.
It's
for
what's the
Guinness.
lightest-
It's the lightest
yeah,
one you're going to get.
it's a
other than like a
delight.
Mick Ultra or whatever. But
I've never been able to
Never
get on
took.
board with it. I
could
love
have
I
one.
love a Conway's from Great Lakes.
Okay.
Love
I'm a
a lot of
Guinness.
Conways.
Me too. I like Guinness too. I can do one though. I can't do. I can't do
Two
more than
Guinness?
two.
A 2 Guinness?
I'll do one Guinness and then
That's it?
I will do tonight before my head hits the pillow. There will be one shot of Jameson. There
So
always has to be one shot.
that's always a delight in that mechanism. There's some really good Irish whiskey. Like Redbreast makes some really good varieties of Irish whiskey, and Bushmills Black makes some really good Irish
Okay.
whiskey
Redbreast
as well.
is a delight.
Redbreast is a delight. Yeah. So there's some good ones out there. So celebrate accordingly. Be safe out there, kids. For everybody. We're back tomorrow with more fun. Thanks for listening. Cleveland Browns Daily. We're presented by Ballybet, as always. Official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Please bet responsibly on 850 ESPN Cleveland.